Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'd like to give some special thanks to the new subscribers that's been dropping by on this channel, and to you guys that's been following me. I appreciate you fellas, and I just wanted to run this by you today in this segment. This is the other Mustang that's getting the LS in it, and it's been a long time coming, guys. This car has been through the mill as far as kind of changing his mind what's going in it, and as far as finances and stuff. But one thing it got done today was he just did the wishbone in it, and looks pretty good up in there from what I see. I just got home, thought I'd check it out. And while I'm showing you guys this, I'd like to bring to your attention little details like that trick flow cover. That really makes the car and sets it off when you do little things like that, fellas, when you're building something. So I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Anybody that's never built anything, little things like that just set the car off. It might not reach out and grab you, but like even on the wheels, like for my son, he'll take the time and he'll do stuff like this here on the caps. It doesn't really, like I said, reach out and grab you, but when it sets the car off, when you have the car all together and these little things, it just, you'll have a car, sometimes you'll think, why does that thing look better than some cars? And you'll just notice that down the track. Some guys will just have little things done and it will just reach out and grab you. And even though it's subtle, the car will just set itself apart. But while I'm doing this video here, fellas, there's something I wanted to discuss, and that is things that we seem to neglect. All the guys that's on YouTube that do all the racing and performance, it seems like even me, we forget to talk about safety. One thing that made me proud the other day, I came out here and my son was working on this car here, and I hope I have something to do with this, because I always tell him not to depend on jack stands. They're there for a purpose, to hold the car up. But you don't ever want to just depend on a jack stand. You want to also keep something under the car in case they were ever to let loose. People put way too much faith in jack stands and their ramps and whatever you might be using. And this has been really weighing on me to do this video right here as far as the safety aspect of things go. I actually had a friend killed that was a really good guy. He always worked on his own cars, and his name was Fast Eddie. He was a Mopar guy, and he had his ramps like these, and fellas, they collapsed on him. He had the car up on ramps like this. And one thing people don't realize is that these ramps may be rated for like, we'll say a ton or 2 tons or 3 tons, whatever ramp you buy. They have a way that they rate them for weight. But what happens, guys, these ramps like these, they stay outside. We don't put them in the garage. They take up room, and some people take good care of their stuff, but we don't really use these a lot. But what happens when you do use them, guys? Just think about this. They sit out here in the weather. The sun hits them, the rain hits them, all kind of weather conditions. So what happens, guys? Are they the same as when they were new? Far from it. I'll bet you if you were to do a test on them, they're probably about half of what they were when they were new. And a lot of times the way they do these tools today, the way they test them, they're not good for us, guys. They do that to sell them, and they have to put a certain thing on the box as far as to cover themselves with the insurance purposes or whatever they go through. I don't know how it works, guys, but just do me a favor. Don't depend on ramps by themselves. Don't depend on jack stands. And one thing I do want to say is if you do use jack stands or the ramps, we're fortunate right here, guys. We have this concrete, but if you use them in the dirt on a soft asphalt on a hot day, like it's pretty hot right now, on a day like today, they would actually sink into the asphalt, and they would actually could let the car flip off of them. And I've seen it happen. I had a brother, he didn't want to listen to my father. He was determined to work on his car late at night, and it wound up being where he got trapped under the car. I had to run in. I was just a small kid, and I had to run in and get my dad. He had to run out there and get my brother out from under the car. He was just fortunate enough where it wasn't crushing him, but he couldn't breathe, and he was holding the car up off of himself the best he could. But I wanted to do this video segment for this purpose, fellas. I thought about, as far as being young guys that do these things, make mistakes. But guys, I think when you're my age, I think we do things that are worse because we think, I'll be under there for 5 minutes. And that's when you get in trouble, fellas. That's when you turn around, it takes you a little bit longer, and we're in a hurry doing them kind of things, and they're the kind of things you find out that bad things happen, and it's unnecessary. That sometimes we just got to learn to slow it down a little bit, guys, and we're all probably guilty of this. There's very few people that take the time to be safe, because I say it over and over again. Even guys I know that are pretty cautious, they'll all take a chance like that. Oh, am I going to be in here for a second? I just want to look at this brake line, or I got a leak here. So I just wanted to remind you guys that. And then on another note, guys, we got to learn to pay attention to our vehicles, especially when we race them. Because like my car here, you kind of know the story about this. You guys have been following my channel. It's taken me a while to get this thing back up to par. Like the fuel line still got to get done. I started on it and it doesn't get finished. And I have the box I was putting in it, that still isn't hooked up. My intentions are good. I start out and my day gets running short, or I have other stuff to do. But guys, while I was under this, I found out that my rear is also leaking. And if this car was being driven a lot, then who knows? I could be running around with the rear empty, and I don't know if you guys can see that, where it's been leaking on the cement right here. But you know, how much fluid would I be losing out of that if I was to be driving it every day and neglecting things like that? So, like I tell you guys all the time, I try to pass my mistakes on to you guys, so you have something to go by. It's like I don't want to be making them mistakes. But on another note, video is a little different this time, guys, because I haven't been out for a while, and I have people ask me different things about different projects we have going on here. The next one, some people was wondering about this wagon, and this is a car that originally had, we put the LS in it, and then my son changed his mind and took the LS out. Now that's going into that. So that's what this car is about, for people that were wondering. And then we have the talk of the town, my old truck that my son got me for my birthday. It's like my old one that I had back in the day, and this is what is really got me on the excited side. I'm really anxious to get this together, and I I'll run a few ideas by you guys now, is that I want to try to do this on the budget side. I have the engine in the garage, and so far all I've done to that, if you've been following me, I have the heads off of it, and I'm going to start porting the heads on that. And I'm going to go with the late model stuff because I decided I wanted this to be where a lot of guys can't get their hands on the Dove stuff anymore, so I'm going to try to do this with the late model stuff. And even the intake, the fuel injection intake, I'm going to wind up using that and modifying that to take a carburetor. And we're going to see how we can make this old truck run with the low compression engine. And I'm going to do it this way for you guys that have late model stuff and don't have any access to the Dove stuff. So that's what this build's going to be about. And I shouldn't stick my neck in a guillotine, but we're going to see about if we can get this truck to go 1050s with basically a $50 engine. So whatever I wind up with it, it's going to be a budget. A budget to me is when you have things that are falling in your lap, used. And I'll be doing another segment on that. I have already got some parts lined up. The converter. One of the things I did spend the money on was the trans, because I don't want problems with that. The guy does our transmission. He gives us a good price on things, and so that was the first thing I did. I got the transmission done, and we're going to take it from there, guys. I got a list to still make up. I wrote some stuff down on paper, which is always a good thing to do. But the first thing to do is to unload this thing. Like I said, it's a truck. It's being used as a truck. But I gotta get all the junk out of it. And as a matter of fact, this is part of the intake, guys. It was fuel injected. I have the rest of the intake in the garage, so I'll be doing a segment on that. This is the top of it. It's the plenum, the top part of it. And I'll be taking this and putting an adapter on the fuel injected intake and modifying that to put a carburetor on it. So that's where we're standing with this thing right about now. And then we'll be doing some good things with this, hopefully. My plan is, guys, is I want to take the hood off, and I'm going to take all this stuff that sticks up the radiator support and everything. It's really high in these trucks. My other truck was like this, and that really bothered me, reaching over that. And if it bothered me back then, when I was a young guy, it's going to surely bother me now to bend over that. So I'm going to be cutting that stuff out, so I'll probably be doing a segment on that. And we're going to take it from there, guys. We're going to see how fast we can get it to go. And whatever it winds up doing, it's going to be where there is no money in it. Because like I started to say, a budget to me is stuff that you just find out. Somebody has something for sale that you need, you buy it. You buy your headers used, and that's how I do things on a budget, guys. I don't try to put a high dollar budget out there. Like some people say, you know, $10,000 could be their budget build, and to me that's not a budget build. Right as of right now, this truck has I think we paid $800 for it, my son did, and I have, I think, $800 into the transmission, and I got the converter, I believe, for around $250, and I got a stealth intake that I bought, which I'm not using now. I actually have this stuff wrote down. I'll be telling you guys all wrong if I put all the prices out there. But anyway, I'm not even near or over $2,000, I don't believe, as of right now. And that's buying the truck. So if I can get this thing to run anywhere in the 11s or 10s for that money, that'd be pretty good. You know? That's how I look at it, guys. But anyway, fellas, thank you for checking the channel out again. I hated to put so much into one segment, but I've been behind with my videos, and it's been a time thing, so I'm sorry about that to anybody who's been looking for things to come out. But we will be getting back on the racing scene with some things. It's just taking me a little while to do it. So just hang in there, guys. We'll have some things from the track coming up, some testing and things like that. So be looking for that in the near future, I hope. But anyway, fellas, have a good night. And thank you for stopping to this channel again. Take care, guys.